So let's start. Today, hopefully, this will be our last class of this semester on this subject. Maybe in the next class, I will take some other subject with you. But today is the last class of this semester, probably, uh, because your exam is very nearby and we have already completed our syllabus. Today, we will discuss uh, regarding two operating systems. Overall, we will discuss about Unix and DOS. Uh, this is we will see as a case study of operating system. Actually, operating system, Amra, we have seen lots of theories and mathematical calculations and all that, all techniques, whatever has used in operating system in different operating systems. And sometimes we have already seen some of the applications of operating system in some of the theoretical application of it on Unix and all that. But today we will discuss it in a little more detailed manner, as Unix is there in your syllabus. Later on, in subsequent semester, you will get Unix as a subject. But in this semester, it is just given in your syllabus that you have to study it as a case study. That means overall, you have to know some of the details about the Unix. Now, let's start with Unix. Unix, it's operating system, which generally give you the interface through which a human can interact with the computer, and Unix manages all the details of it. Unix manages all the details, details. You can say that how the things are managed, managed, and all that. That is done. That is done by the Unix. Okay, so it's a purely it's a operating system. Unix is purely operating system. It's an operating system. Now, the computer program that allocate the system resources and coordinate all the details of the computer's internal is called the operating system, or sometimes we can call it kernel. Now, I have told you many times before that kernel is that part of the operating system which is basically the core part of our operating system. That means the core thing, whatever is written, that is basically kernel. Now, users communicate with this kernel in Unix through a program which is known as shell. তো শেল বলে একটা প্রোগ্রাম আছে, একটা প্রোগ্রাম যেটা ইউনিক্সে আছে, যেটা সাহায্য করে ইন ইউনিক্স অপারেটিং এনভায়রনমেন্ট, যেটা সাহায্য করে ইউজার যাতে অপারেটিং সিস্টেমের সঙ্গে মানে কার্নেলের সঙ্গে কমিউনিকেট করতে পারে। তো শেল একটা, ইউ ক্যান সে ইটস আ command line interpreter. Shell is nothing but a command line interpreter. We will see. I will try to see some. I will try to show you some examples of it. Maybe already if know, many of you already maybe know it. So the shell is a command line interpreter. So where we have to type command, and that command is interpreted and things are done by the Unix operating system. Now, Unix was originally developed in 1969. This is the history, some short history about Unix. It was developed in 1969 by a group of AT&T employees, and later on it has been evolved in a multi-user and multitasking environment. So in Unix, it's an operating system. Specialty of it is that it's a multi-user and multitasking environment. That means you can more than one user can log into the system at the same time, and more than one task can be managed by the Unix at the same time. So that is basically multi-user and multitasking environment. So questions generally come like what is the difference between multi-user, multi-programming, multitasking, multi-processing, all that. So these are terms what we have already discussed in our classes, previous classes. So just keep in your mind the differences of these things. Maybe in short question also it will come like that. What is the difference, or maybe the what is this and what is that, maybe asked to you. So now if we see the Unix architecture, you see the Unix architecture here, the core part is your hardware part. That is the hardware what is running in your system, motherboard, hard disk, RAM, and all that things. Next, on top of that, the kernel resides. Now, kernel is basically the I told you that this is the basically the core of the operating system. So Unix kernel is sitting on top of the hardware. Whenever in a system you are installing Unix, so kernel will be on top of the hardware. And then comes shell. Now shells, there are different types of shells. We call it C shell, bash shell. There are different kinds of shells are there. So this shell is basically used to communicate between the user and the kernel. So that's why shell is on top of kernel. And on top of shell, there are different application programs are running. The application programs, what we use actually right now, like we are using Zoom. So this is an application software. It is loaded on top of the shell. Now whatever we are doing, we are interacting with the application program. My application program is interacting with the shell, and my shell is interacting with the kernel, and finally my kernel is interacting with the hardware, and the things are done. Things are going on. So that is basically the application program. So this is the very basic structure of Unix. On the core, it is hardware, then kernel, then shell, and then application program. So it is written what is kernel, what is shell, and all that. You can see that kernel is the heart of the operating system, interacts with the hardware, and most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling, file management, whatever we have done actually. These things we have done. How memory is managed in operating system, how tasks are scheduled, that means processes are scheduled, and how file is managed. These things we have done. So that things, these things are managed by kernel. Now next is shell. Now shell is the utility software actually. So utility that processes your request. Now there are different kinds of shells: C shell, Bourne shell, Korn shell, and most famous shells which are available in most of the Unix variants are this: C shell, Bourne shell, Korn shell. Okay, these are some shells. Then commands and utilities. Now there are various commands like cp, mv, cat, grep. We will see some of it later on in your next semester. Maybe Unix is there, and there you will get it in more detail. Next is files and directories. So all the data of Unix is organized into files. You know, আমি এটা অনেকবার বলেছি Unix everything is treated as a file. So all files are then organized into directories. অনেকগুলো file, related file একটা directory তৈরি করে. These directories are further organized into tree-like structure called file system. Now এই যে directory গুলো একটা tree-like structure তৈরি করে, সেটা হচ্ছে file system. Unix file system নিয়ে আমরা এর আগে একদিন আলোচনা করেছিলাম. If you remember, otherwise you can refer to that note on that video that is there. So that is basically file system. Next is system boot up. Like other operating systems in Unix also, system booted up in the same way. System booted up. Now basically if you have a computer which has the Unix operating system installed, then you simply need to turn the system, and you can use it. So as what happens, as soon as you turns on the system, it starts booting up, and finally it prompts you to log into the system, which is an activity to log into the system. Like here, you will show whenever you will boot, you will try to want to boot up the system. You will get a prompt like login, and to log in you have to enter the username and password and all that, and it is case sensitive actually. In that way you will get this kind of login information. Now here after the login to the system, you will get a prompt which is known as $prompt. Now within the $prompt you can get there are different commands. You can get you can use those commands. Like here is a command known as cal. Cal means you will get a calendar of the current month and current year. So calendar. Next, if you want to change the password, you can change the password also by getting the command, giving the command pass wt. and then you can get the current password. You can type the new password, it will be prompt to you, retype the new password, and password will be changed. So all these things you can done it from the Unix terminal. Like there is another command like ls-l. Now this is basically, it will show you the different files and directories with their permissions, whatever there in your system. Now in Unix there are 3-stage permission. One is for user permission, another is for group, another is for other. I suppose I have told you in the last class, I mean in the previous class, যখন আমরা Unix নিয়ে একটু ডিসকাস করেছিলাম, আমি ওটা দেখিয়েও ছিলাম। যাই হোক, তো এখানে যেমন দেখতে পাচ্ছ ডি যেটা দেখাচ্ছে একটা ফাইলের নামের এগেনস্টে ডি দেখাচ্ছে, ফার্স্টে ডি মিনস ইটস আ ডিরেক্টরি। এখানে তিনটে সেট আছে rwx, তারপরে r-x, এর মানে হচ্ছে এই পার্টিকুলার ডিরেক্টরিটার যে ইউজার, যে মানে ইউজার গ্রুপ আদার, ইয়েস ইউজার, যে ইউজার সে মানে যে তৈরি করেছে অ্যাকচুয়ালি, তার এই ফাইল এই ডিরেক্টরিটার উপরে রিড পারমিশনও আছে, রাইট পারমিশনও আছে, এক্সিকিউট পারমিশনও আছে, এক্স ফর এক্সিকিউট। এই পার্টিকুলার ইউজারটা যে গ্রুপে বিলং করছে ওই সিস্টেমে, সেই গ্রুপের যারা ইউজার তারাও ওই ডিরেক্টরিটার উপরে রিড, রাইট এবং এক্সিকিউট পারমিশন পাচ্ছে। কিন্তু তারা ছাড়া ওই সিস্টেমের আর যারা ইউজার, তারা এই পার্টিকুলার ডিরেক্টরিটাকে শুধু রিড এবং এক্সিকিউট করতে পারে, কোনো রকম রাইট মানে কোনো রকম মডিফিকেশন করতে পারে না। সো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য basic thing about this permissions and all that. There are lots of other informations are also provided, but right now we don't need that because in Unix, in a subject, we will study their things in detail. So this is basically the basic thing about the ls-l. It's a command. Next, if you want to see that currently, if you want to see that what is your username, I mean you have logged into the system, somehow you have forgotten that what was your username, so you can check it by the command who am I. Use the command who am I, which will show you the username. Now suppose you want to see the who are currently logged into the system, so you can press who command. Who command will show you that who are currently logged into the system. Now on this, in that way there are different things are there. Now you can check it, আমরা একটা একটু দেখি কিভাবে আমরা এটা করতে পারি। সো বেসিক্যালি আমরা এরকম একটা টার্মিনাল পাই, আমরা এরকম একটা টার্মিনাল পেতে পারি ইন ইউনিক্স, যেখানে আমরা এগুলো দেখতে পারি। Let us try to maximize it little bit for you. I hope you can see this now. So suppose I want to know that what is my username, so I can write who am I. So my username is showing HP. This is my username, as because my username is like this, set like this, so it is showing it is HP. Now if I write who, so it will show you what are the users currently logged into the system. So as this system is used by me right now only, so only HP username is showing with date and time and all that, when I have logged into the system like 8:30 AM, and what was the date, so like that it is showing, if you can see. Now if you want to see what are the different files and directories are there in this particular system, in this particular drive, so for that you can write ls-l. So if you write ls-l, it will show you all the files and directory information. Now these are the files and directories in my system, what is showing over here. There are directories are showing with D, files are showing with like only hyphen, starting with hyphen. So in that way, files and directories and with their permissions it is showing you. Okay, so all these files and directories are present in my system right now, in particular current drive. Next, if you want to see the calendar, so you can, if you can give command cal, so it will give you this calendar option, so which will show you the current date calendar, current month calendar. So this is the thing. You can get any calendar actually. You can get any calendar of any. This is the calendar of 2050. This is the calendar of 2050. You see, you can get any calendar from here. 2050. Use the calendar. So in that way, you can get any calendar. I don't know. Will it show? So this is the calendar for 2050, and this is the calendar for 3050. Now, this is the thing actually. You can get any calendar. So next is in that way there are lots of commands actually. You can get it in Unix. Next, coming back to this particular thing. Now in Unix, there are several commands and commands for the system shutdown. Now, system, you can shut down your system by giving different command like halt. Halt brings the system down immediately. Whenever if you give the command halt, your system will down immediately. If you press init 0, powers of the system using predefined scripts to synchronize and clean up the system prior to shutting down. So that will be init 0. Init 6 reboots the system by shutting it down completely and then restarting it. Power off, shut down the system by powering off. Reboot, your system will be rebooted. Shut down the system. So you can shut down your system by these commands also in Unix. Now there are differences. Like halt means bring the system down immediately. Init 0, powers of the system. Init 0, init, the term init, it has come from initial. So initial, that means init. So init 0, powers of the system using predefined scripts to synchronizing and clean up the system prior to shutting down. So these are some predefined scripts are there. Through that scripts, the things are going on. So that is basically. Next is, you can, if you want to reboot your system by pressing command, by giving command, you can use init 6. So these are some commands what Unix supports, and that thing. So this was the very basic introduction of Unix. Next, we will just quickly see what are the file management and process management things, how it happens in Unix. So we'll go into that particular thing. Now I'm starting with processes, Unix processes, that is process management, how processes are managed in Unix. Just we will try to understand the basic thing. Now process management, you know that how processes are scheduled and all that, you know, all the theoretical things in our operating systems course. Now here basically what we have to understand here is that the operating systems track every processes through a 5-digit ID number, which is known as PID, that is process ID, and each process in the system will have unique process ID. Unique, that will be unique process ID. Unique means there will be no repeated process ID over there. দুটো প্রসেসের আইডি কখনো এক হবে না, ঠিক লাইক ইউর রোল নাম্বার, দুজন স্টুডেন্টের এক রোল নাম্বার হবে না একই ক্লাসে, সো লাইক দ্যাট. Now whenever we are talking about starting a process, now when we start a process, there are two ways of running it. যখন আমরা একটা প্রসেসকে স্টার্ট করি ইউনিক্স সিস্টেমে, তখন দুটো ওয়ে আছে, যে দুটো ওয়েতে আমরা একটা সিস্টেমকে রান করতে পারি. একটা হচ্ছে ফোরগ্রাউন্ড প্রসেস, একটা হচ্ছে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড প্রসেস. প্রসেস যেগুলো ফোরগ্রাউন্ডে রান করবে, those are known as foreground process, and process those we want to run it on background, so that will be known as background process, and we can select it. Sometimes some processes are how it will be run, it will be selected by the operating system itself, and sometimes we have the users have that privilege that the user can decide that which process will run, whether it will run foreground or run background. That can be selected by the user as well in Unix. So that is foreground process and background process. So by default, every process that we start to run, it is in the foreground. Now it gets its input from the keyboard and sends it output to the screen. That is the meaning of the foreground process actually, and that you can feel it that it is running because it is interacting with you. So that is the meaning of that. Now you can see this happens with the ls command. Now whenever you are pressing ls command, if you wish to list all files in your current directory, you can easily use ls command. Now that will display the output on your screen. So that is basically foreground process, because it is interacting with you. Now the process runs in the foreground, output is directly coming into your screen, so you can understand that it is interacting with you. That's why it is a foreground process. Now what is background process? Now the background process runs without being connected to your keyboard. Background process যখন run করবে, that will not be connected with your keyboard. তোমার keyboard থেকেও কোনো input নেবে না. That is the thing what I want to say. তোমার keyboard থেকেও কোনো input নেবে না. So if the background process requires any keyboard input, it will wait. It will wait. Say wait state. So it will wait. The advantage of running a process in background is that you can run other commands. তুমি ওই সময় অন্য কমান্ডগুলো রান করতে পারছি. You do not have to wait until it completes to start another. Now the simplest way to start a background process is to add ampersand at the end of the command. তুমি যখনই তোমার কমান্ডের পাশে একটা ampersand sign দিয়ে দেবে, your Unix system will understand that the user wants to run that particular command in background. So let's not be connected with the keyboard. So that is basically the background process. Now here, if you give ls command with the ampersand sign to run it background, so the output will be displayed. Now let us see what happens. Okay, let us see কি হচ্ছে. আমরা foreground রান করেছিলাম, আমরা background রান করে দেখি. So ls -l, I'm giving this ampersand sign. Now giving this ampersand sign means this I want to run in background. So still I'm getting the output. But that process has run in background. Now as this process is taking very less amount of time, we cannot understand that whether this process is running foreground or background. But that is the way by which you can select in Unix that whether you want to run a process in foreground or whether you want to run a process in background. And the advantage of running a process in background is that by that time you can serve to any other process. Suppose more than one processes are interacting with you. Now you want to choose that one process will run background. You don't want to interact with that process. Instead of that, you want to interact with a much more important process. So you can keep that process in foreground and this process in background. That is the way actually. That is the thing. That's why we do it. Okay. Next is now suppose you want to know, now process আমরা শুনেছিলাম, আমরা অপারেটিং সিস্টেমে process what is process কিভাবে কাজ করে সব শুনেছিলাম. তো প্রসেস গুলোকে আমরা যদি দেখতে চাই, তাদের পিআইডি, তাদের টার্মিনাল নাম্বার, তাদের টাইম, তারা কোন সিএমডি কমান্ড লাইনে বসে আছে বা কাজ করছে, এগুলো যদি আমরা দেখতে চাই, তাহলে ইউনিক্সে একটা ভেরি সিম্পল ওয়ে আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে পিএস, দ্য কমান্ড পিএস. দ্য কমান্ড পিএস উইল শো ইউ how many number of processes are running right now, and if you write ps with the option -f in your command, if you write ps with the with the option -f, which will give you much more information actually on processes. So let us see. Let me clear the screen first. You see, I'm clearing the thing now. Suppose I'm writing ps-f. So if we press ps-f, so these things are running. Right now on my system. So PID, you see, this is the process ID. PPID, you see, it is parent process ID. So that process, PID process 8518, PID is 8518. It is a unique number. System is identifying this process by this number. Now this process has a parent. The parent of this process ID is 8399, and you see similarly another process it is showing. Now the first process you see running on the bash command. Okay, now another process that is basically ps-f actually, this information. Okay, that process has a PID, that process has a PPID. So these are the thing, the time and terminals and all that it is showing, and like that. So this is basically if you want to see the processes. okay, in your system. So in that way, we can get lots of information by giving these commands and all that. Now, from PS command, you can get UID, that is user ID, PID, that is process ID, PPID, that is parent process ID, C, that is CPU utilization of processes, that is C. You must have seen there is a C. That is CPU utilization. So here CPU utilization, CPU is not being utilized much. I mean, CPU is not utilized actually, okay, because we are not processing anything. So that's why it is 0. Then S time, that is start time, TTY, that is terminal time, that is when that process, how much time that process has taken, CMD, that is command that started this process, that is CMD actually. So this thing, so you can get lots of information about your processes, okay, by this command. Next is if you give a PS with option -A, that will show you the information about all users in your system. If you provide -X, shows information about processes without terminals. -U shows additional information like F option, and -E displays extended information. So these are some options, added on options, what you can use with your PS command. Now that has been shown here, you can get it. These are the options. Now if you want to if you give the kill command, so that will terminates the first one process. Okay, if a process ignores the regular kill command, you can use kill -9 to terminate a process. Now in Unix, there is a concept of parent and child process, which is very important actually. Now each Unix process has 2 ID numbers assigned to it, as you have seen that PID and PPID. So the process ID, that is PID, and the parent process ID, that is PPID. Now each user process in the system has a parent process. প্রত্যেকটা user processes যারা ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে সিস্টেমে, তাদের প্রত্যেকের একটা করে parent process আছে. Now most of the commands that you run have the shell as their parent. প্রত্যেকটা কমান্ড যে তুমি রান করছো, যেমন PS and all that, সেগুলো প্রত্যেকটার একটা শেল আছে, যে শেলটা হচ্ছে তার parent process. তো সেটা তুমি দেখতে পারো ভেরি ইজিলি, আমরা দেখলাম সেটা তুমি দেখতে পারো very easily by giving the PS command and all that. Now there is a concept known as zombie and orphan process. What is zombie and orphan process? Now namely, when a child process is killed, the parent process is updated via sig-hold signal, actually sig-HLD, sig-hold signal. So that is basically, then the parent can do some other task or restart a new child as needed. But what happens, sometimes the parent process is killed before its child is killed. কি হয়, parent কে kill করে দেওয়া হচ্ছে child kill করার আগে. So in this case, the parent of all processes, that is init process, becomes the new PPID. So actually init যে প্রসেসটা, ওই জন্য বলেছিলাম ইনিশিয়ালি init যে প্রসেসটা আমরা বলেছিলাম ওটা ইনিশিয়াল প্রসেস. তো আমরা সমস্ত প্রসেসের ইনিশিয়াল প্রসেস বা প্যারেন্ট প্রসেস ইনিটকে ধরি. যখন কোনো প্যারেন্ট প্রসেসকে কিল করে দেওয়া হবে তার চাইল্ড কিল করার আগে, তখন সেই চাইল্ড প্রসেসের প্যারেন্ট হিসেবে চলে আসবে ইনিট প্রসেস. সামটাইমস যখন কোনো প্যারেন্টকে কিল করে দেওয়া হচ্ছে চাইল্ড কিল করার আগে, তখন ওই চাইল্ড মানে প্যারেন্ট যার কিল করা হয়ে গেছে সেই চাইল্ড প্রসেসগুলোকে বলা হয় অরফ্যান প্রসেস. বাট সিস্টেমে সেই প্রসেসগুলোর প্যারেন্ট হিসেবে চলে আসে ইনিট প্রসেসটা. So that is basically orphan process. Now when a process is killed, a PS listing may still show the process with a Z state. এরকম দেখায় অনেক সময় একটা প্রসেস কিল করে দেওয়ার পরেও তুমি যখন PS দিয়ে দেখছো, ওই প্রসেসটাকে সিস্টেম দেখাচ্ছে Z state দিয়ে. So this is a zombie or defunct process. Those processes are zombie or defunct process. These processes are dead and not being used. এর মানে হচ্ছে এই প্রসেসগুলো dead এবং not being used. So these processes are different from the orphan process, because orphan process কিন্তু init আছে. Now they have completed execution but still find an entry in the process table. এই zombie process এর মানে হচ্ছে এরা execute complete করে ফেলেছে, কিন্তু still ওদের একটা entry আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি process table. So that is basically zombie process. So question can come, if some question comes from Unix, this part, then question may come, what is zombie process, what is orphan process? Maybe options will be given to you. So you have to understand it in that way, that zombie means the process is dead and not being used, এবং ওর এন্ট্রিটা তখনও প্রসেস টেবিলে থেকে গেছে, দ্যাটস ওয়াই ইট ইজ জম্বি। Now there is another concept known as daemon process. Daemons are basically system related background processes that often run with the permissions of root and services request from other processes. Actually, what happens in Unix, let me check what is the time left, because okay, 5 minutes. What happens in Unix, actually there is a concept of root user. There is a concept of root user in Unix. There is a concept of root user. Now root user is the ultimate user who can do lots of administrative tasks, and when you go to the root user, your prompt also in terminal, you have seen when you were working, our general prompt was $. Now if you move to the root user, your prompt will be changed to hash. So that is basically root user. Now the thing is that what is daemon process basically? So daemons are system related background process, যে প্রসেস গুলো সিস্টেমের ইউজার প্রসেস নয়, সিস্টেম প্রসেস ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে রান করছে, সেগুলো অনেক সময় রান করে উইথ দ্য পারমিশন অফ রুট and service request from other processes. Now a daemon has no controlling terminal. Daemon process কোনো controlling terminal নেই. It cannot open any TTY on any terminal. If you do a ps-ef and look at the TTY field, all daemons will have a question mark for the TTI. So যদি তুমি ps-ef দাও এবং তুমি যদি টার্মিনাল ফিল্ডে দেখো, তাহলে দেখবে daemons will have a, those processes are daemon process will have a question mark for the TTY, মানে যেহেতু daemon processের কোনো টার্মিনাল অ্যাসাইন্ড হয় না, because it's a background process এবং system related background process, that's why. So to be precise, a daemon is a process that runs in the background, usually waiting for something to happen that it is capable of working with. For example, a printer daemon waiting for print commands, like that. So that for that there is no need to use any terminal. So that is basically daemon process. Now if you have a program that calls for lengthy processing, then it ought to make it a daemon and run it in the background. যদি কোনো লেন্দি প্রসেসিং এরকম প্রসেস তোমার থাকে, তাহলে তাকে তোমার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে রান করানো উচিত, এবং তার নাম সেটাই হচ্ছে ডেমন প্রসেস। তো ডেমন প্রসেসের মেন আইডেন্টিফিকেশন মার্ক হচ্ছে ps-ef যে কমান্ডটা দিলে যদি টার্মিনাল ফিল্ডে কোশ্চেন মার্ক দেখায়, অ্যাজ বিকজ ডেমন প্রসেস উইল নট হ্যাভ এনি টার্মিনাল। ওকে, সো দ্যাট ইজ বেসিক্যালি ডেমন প্রসেস। নাও দেয়ার আর লটস অফ আদার কমান্ডস আর দেয়ার, ইউ ক্যান গেট ইট। টপ কমান্ড, তার একটা বলা আছে টপ কমান্ড। টপ কমান্ড কি করছে? ইজ ভেরি ইউজফুল টুল ফর কুইকলি শোয়িং প্রসেসেস সর্টেড বাই ভেরিয়াস ক্রাইটেরিয়া। ভেরিয়াস ক্রাইটেরিয়ার উপর বেস করে যদি তুমি প্রসেসগুলোকে দেখতে চাও, তুমি টপ কমান্ড ইউজ করতে পারো। ইউ ক্যান রাইট $top and like that. Now there is a concept known as job ID, and also there is a concept process ID, what you have seen. So basically background and suspended processes are usually manipulated via job ID. যে প্রসেসগুলো ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে রান করছে এবং যে প্রসেসগুলো সাসপেন্ডেড প্রসেস বাই দ্য সিস্টেম, সেই প্রসেসগুলো রান করছে, সেই প্রসেসগুলোকে ম্যানিপুলেট করা হচ্ছে জব আইডি দিয়ে। and this number is different from the process ID and is used because it is shorter. Job ID is shorter than process ID, that's why we use it. So job ID and process ID is not same. Job ID mainly applicable with background processes and suspended processes, that you please keep in your mind. Now with that, you can, it is another very vital information is given, that is a job can consist of multiple processes running in series or at the same time in parallel. Using the job ID, it is easier than tracking individual processes. Job ID দিয়ে ট্র্যাক করাটা সুবিধা হয়, তার প্রধান কারণ হচ্ছে এটা ছোট। সো জব আইডি এবং প্রসেস আইডি কিন্তু ডিফারেন্ট। কোশ্চেন আসতেই পারে whether job ID and process ID is same or not, true or false. So it is not same, it is different. And it is mainly applicable for background and suspended processes. So this is about the processes, a brief introduction. Then you come to the next session, because this session is going to end we will discuss some more things about Unix, and then we will try to quickly see the DOS, disk operating system. So come to the next session, please.